And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 8 of the Futsal Philippines Show, brought to you by the Henry V. Moran Foundation. This is the most exciting online futsal show on the internet today, and we bring you news about Philippine futsal, global developments in futsal, and of course, updates on our recent High Five Women's Futsal League. My name is Kevin Goko. I'm the head of futsal in the Philippine Football Federation. I'm also the director of the Henry V. Moran Foundation. I am joined here by Coach Vic Hermans, FIFA futsal expert, AFC, UEFA instructor, and currently PFF technical director for futsal. Good evening, Coach Vic. How are you doing?
Good evening, Kevin. Yes, how are you doing? Yesterday, coming back from Vietnam to see the futsal in Vietnam, how it's going there, how it's growing. As FIFA consultant, make a report for the upcoming from that visit, and go now back in our country that we can go on with our own developing, and this is one of the best things, of course, that we had our last. Competition matches where we speak later about. But okay, I'm happy to be back here again.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you back in the country, Vic, and amazing. So you just came from Vietnam for a FIFA visit. Maybe just shortly, Vic, like what were your impressions on that trip over to Vietnam?
Yeah, my impression was, of course, I was looking also to how it's going with the girls because we do our girls competition, and I was in the center, the academy from Tai Som Nam. That is the biggest club from Vietnam. They have also the futsal department, and the futsal ladies, the national team, is the team from Tai Som Nam. They play on the last evening when I was there. They played the final in Hanoi. I was in Ho Chi Minh City, but on streaming, I saw the quality from them, and no, I was impressed to see that, and I was also happy that I know our girls now. We talk about later that I'm thinking that we can next year play maybe a friendly also with Vietnam, one of the bigger countries in the men's competition already. But okay, they have a league from 10 days for the woman, and we have a league for already from 2 months. So I'm thinking that we're on the right track with our girls. That was my
Yeah, so
biggest impression.
So Vic, you were saying you saw the women's national or the biggest club in Thai women's futsal, and you think the Philippines can definitely we have the quality to match up with them.
Yeah, because what we set up last year already, the track for the girls, and we played in Guam, and we have in October our Four Nation tournament. We going everybody every time a step further, and
Oh, I think we lost Vic for a little bit, some connection problems on his end. So, anyways, going to the women's national football team, yes, or for sorry, futsal team. We're definitely going to have a series of friendlies later this October, as announced in earlier episodes of the show. And Coach Vic was saying that possibly moving on to next year, 2024, when we host some more international friendlies, Vietnam is down to participate and come over and compete with us. But anyways, let's talk about that later on the show when we get Coach Vic back on and we discuss or we wait for his announcement for who will make the training pool for the 2023 women's national futsal team. But before we do that, we had some very interesting matches last week. The final day of the High Five Women's Futsal League, where we saw the final matchups between all teams. So all teams, regardless if they made the final or not, or the consolation final, they all had a final game to play. So let's go to our first match between Tondo FC and Dr. J Auto Club FC. This is the battle for seventh. These are the two teams in the bottom of the table, but as we've seen over the past few weeks leading up to the final day, they have all improved and done such a tremendous job in developing their players and their teams for futsal. So let's check out highlights from that final day.
To be honest po, medyo hindi ko pa nagustuhan yung part ng ibang passing ko kasi like medyo off. Pero obviously po na maganda po yung teamwork namin ng teammate ko. Nakakaintindi ka po ng 1-2 kasi namin 1-2. And yung goal ko po is galing sa 1-2. So like sobrang saya po. Well, yung first po namin talo kami against Tuloy. Pero like paangat po siya pero nung mga ilang linggo din po yung nakalipas, bumaba po ulit kami. Then ngayon po umangat ng bahagya pero this is not the end naman po siguro. So, yes po. Kung sasali po kami sa next league, tingin ko po mas malaki po yung improvement kung magti-training po lahat ng sabay-sabay. And kung magkakaroon po kami ng training like twice a week, kasi ngayon po once a week na po magti-training and not enough po for the improvement kasi yung liga na po ito is mataas and yung mga girls na nakakalaro po namin is like ahead sa amin pero matagal po yung pagitan pero I will say na mahaba po yung process namin para makatapat or mapantayan yung level ng play ng ibang teams.
The organization is good. Day by day nag-improve yung officiating, the scheduling, and the way na i-promote yung league. So for me, it's nagiging interesting din for the masses. And for the team naman, well, ups and downs, katulad ng sinabi ko before, ups and downs yung performance ng mga players. Well, ang gusto ko kasi mangyari for these girls is to know how to play futsal properly, how to play our culture. And sometimes nagagawa nila, sometimes it's not. So maybe we're lacking of trainings and yung performance ng girls is sometimes medyo tulog and hindi maganda yung result. Not all. So sometimes we have more rooms for improvement but sometimes naman na-achieve ng mga girls yung goal namin. Not only the result pero yung game style, the way they play, yung movement. So yun naman yung goal namin for them. Ipasa yung knowledge namin how to play futsal properly. For futsal, we're still aiming to do our own futsal league involving all Manila districts of Manila. And for these girls, since some of them are now graduating in our program, papasok na sila sa senior high school and college. So good luck for them. If they want to continue with our program after their school agendas or when they're free, they're welcome. The doors of Tondo FCs are welcome for them.
So congratulations to Tondo FC for beating Dr. J Auto Club and finishing 7th in the table. Vic, you heard the coach and Lay also say that their season was ups and downs and they're really trying to promote the culture. Your final thoughts on these two teams and their performance?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, for Tondo, of course, a young team, what the coach said, up and downs, but also a team with potential. When you saw Lay, of course, now this girl, she has a lot of potential. And I was very, very happy to see her to play. No pressure, feel free on the pitch. I like that. Because I hope also for next year that Tondo can bring again other girls. Well, I know already that some girls also leaving that team, and he must find again the other ones. That's for the most teams always the most challenge when you're working with college teams and school teams. That is some problems what we have. Okay, but that's another challenge, of course. And for Dr. G, yeah, okay, the whole it looks the results were not what we're thinking. But all the games what I saw, they were improving. You saw also that Dr. G in the beginning starting, and on the end they can play with Tondo. You will see the game was 0-1. Now it can go different sides. That is also their problem. They're starting with some girls. Later come some girls in the school, and then they have the time to prepare. And that is something where we must find a way in the future how we can maybe doing a longer trip with them that they can train before, etc. But that's future. That's something what we must find out. In totally, these two teams, of course, there were not some games that you can telling one team is very, very bad. No, it was for 7 and 8, but still, it was a nice game to see.
I definitely agree with you, Coach Vic. Definitely, the gap was not that big. No. And even though if Dr. J didn't win a game in the season in their campaign, they've clearly improved each and every game. You mentioned Lay. I've also been very impressed with how she played for such a young player. I know she has opportunities after this league. I hope she will still continue to play futsal because, as you said, she can be a fantastic talent. I think
Yeah.
moving forward in this sport.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So congratulations again to Tondo FC for beating Dr. J in the Battle of Seventh. Our next match and our final day was the battle for fifth. So these are the winners of last week's consolation semifinals. And we have UMAC taking on Pangasinan United FC. Let's check out the highlights.
Wat draait er weer bij mis? Ja.
I can't stand the rain. I smoke my hydro on the against my window. I can't stand the rain against my window. I can't stand the rain.
So apologies for those technical difficulties. We weren't able to get through the highlights of the battle for fifth between the University of Makati and Pangasinan United FC. But just to update you guys, University of Makati eventually won that game, 5-3, I believe, Vic.
Yes.
Yeah. And we had goals from Julia Cabal, of course, and General, who finished the season strong. Vic, your thoughts and impressions on both teams?
Yeah, this both team. First, again, the loser from the game. It was also that team was very impressing how they come in the league and how they end in the league. Because we're never thinking that they're gonna play with WUMAC that game. WUMAC is a better team in my opinion because they are longer together. And but okay, it is what we say in teams from Pangasinan, of course. Also a lot of young players. What we find out, what I found out in all the games, it was closer and closer together. And it is not that one team was standing outside. Even not the winner from the league was not to say, oh, in the beginning you know already that they will win Makati or Tuloy. No. That was not the question. Yeah, in my opinion, WUMAC team is a nice team. of course, and they deserve also the fifth place, in my opinion. But also compliment for Pangasinan, because also the preparation of them was every Saturday very long. They're coming in the night to Tuloy. They play there. It's not so good for the preparation for a game. But okay, they did it 8-9 weeks long, and compliment for that. And I hope next year that we maybe can bring them a little closer to Metro Manila, and or even on their side that we can set up something. But still, now I was very happy with the progression of that team also, and also there in that team was some girls what impressed me for and make it difficult on the end to select some players for national team in the selection in the bigger squad. And also in Bumak we have some girls, of course, who was last year in the selection. Okay, and you will see this is number prize 5 and 6, and 1 till 4 was coming. Because for me, I was that day was for every game you saw the quality 7, 8, 5, 6. They're coming close together, but the game on shore was very nice to see. It was not that they walk over and you were bordering your time there. No, yes, but okay, then let's wait till next season for them.
Yeah, I noticed UMAC played more defensive. They played more 2-2 early in the season, and then you can see they became a little bit more attacking. They played more 1-2-1. I think the teams in general, Vic, have tactically evolved and improved.
Yeah, that's correct. You know, when I came in my time a couple of years ago, first time in Philippines, I said to everybody, Philippine play 2-2 is a system of very is dangerous when you play futsal, but when you play it in your own league, all they play 2-2, then it's not a problem. But international, we play other systems, and you will see this was one of the reasons now what you saw that they already start changing in the system. And I think also that is something from last year what the girls were learning, that we must have another system to bring it in the squad from national team. They go back to the teams, and then they start. I hope they talk also with the coaches, and then on the end you will find out. Also, what I found out in these games already, that some teams learning how they must pressing. Futsal is not anymore waiting on the own half. Futsal is most of the time pressing your opponent, and that's the next step that our girls must go through end of the year. That we cannot wait on the half that the team's coming. No, we will have that we press them back to it. But that's for the next challenge for me.
Yeah, definitely trying to slowly change the culture of Philippine futsal and the way we play. And it can only happen through leagues like this, no, Vic? And you mentioned Pangasinan United and how dedicated they were. I'd like to bring that up again. And shout out, by the way, to Coach Floyd of Pangasinan United, who's tuning in. Hi, Coach Floyd. Thanks for joining us. But I just like to commend you and your entire team or your club for your commitment in this league. For the audience out there who's not aware, Pangasinan United FC had to travel every Saturday. Sorry, they traveled every Friday night to make it to the Saturday morning games for 5 hours. And some of the girls were coming as far away as Ilocos Norte. No, so just imagine that with the rains, the threat of rains, the threat of typhoons. The commitment of Pangasinan United was just outstanding throughout this entire year. And I think I mentioned it in a previous episode. You guys should get your own special trophy for that. But thank you for that commitment. And I'm looking forward to the improvement of these two teams, Coach Vic.
Yes.
Congratulations again to UMAC for winning 5th place. But now we go to the main final round, no? And battle for 3rd was between Payatas and GK Sipag FC. Payatas narrowly lost to Azuri in a 4-3 defeat in the semifinal, and GK also lost in extra period to heavily favored Tuloy, but they took Tuloy to the brink, and it took a few goals of Tuloy the last second and also in extended periods to be able to beat upset-minded GK Sipag. But let's take a look at the highlights from that battle for 3rd.
The league is very good. It's how you improve players. For starting the national team, for our players, it really benefits them. From day one of the league until the last day and last game today, the improvement is so high. With our players, I really see them to be improving if we still have this kind of league every year or at least 2 months, 2 times a year. So it's very good. It's a very good league. Yeah, I'm very pleased to on our overall performance. It was really good performance for our team because at the start of the league, no one expect us to be in the top four like that. So being on that one, believing on ourselves that at least we can compete, we can try to be there. And yeah, as I said, it's only for improvement, but we got the top four, and at the very end, we still very fight. We did our best and we played with the heart. I think some of our players will be going to college. So our Inspire players, grade 12, would be four of them will play in FE with Coach Let, and I think the other one will continue playing futsal. But some of them will go into football, and I told them when the opportunity knocks them, you should take it or reject it. But they take it, and then very congratulations to them on getting to the FEU.
Eto, sobrang happy po kasi nanalo kami and ginawa talaga naming best namin isa't isa kasi ito na po yung last game namin and ipapakita sa kanila na deserve kami na manalo. And ayun, para ma-inspire din yung mga bata namin sa Payatas na, "Hala, ang gagaling ng mga ate namin." So, kami din, galingan din namin. Siyempre, thankful kung sa'kin man yun mapupunta and, ayun, thankful din ako sa mga ka-teammate ko dahil din sa kanila, um, hindi ako makakakuha siguro ng golden boot ng hindi dahil sa kanila rin.
During the leagues po talaga, marami kaming mga natutunan at the same time, may mga times din na disappointed kami sa performance namin pero we always bounce back po talaga and lagi namin minomotivate yung bawat isa na napatunayan kung ano po yung mga natutunan namin week by week and so far, syempre naglaro kami semis from last week and sobrang ganda nung laro para sa akin ay yun yung pinakamaganda namin pero yun hindi naman talaga linya yung development. So, pag anong ganon, may mga rough road and proud ako sa mga girls kasi until now, binigay po talaga nila yung 100% commitment nila sa training and sa fitness namin and yung umattend every week para sa games po. Yes po, overall, third place kami ngayon and I honestly believe na we deserve this award po talaga and kasi naghirap kami sa training kami, nag-commit kami, nakikinig po kami kay Chiro, video analysis kami para i-correct yung mga from time to time, hindi all the time nag-video analysis kami, pero yun po, sobrang happy ako overall po. Sa Payatas po, meron po kami ongoing na by July pupunta po yung Team Philippines na from Payatas po, atin kami ng 3x3 futsal po sa Germany. So, yun po yung nilook forward namin ni Coach Roy din. And sa mga girls po namin is magtuloy-tuloy po kami sa fitness namin, sa diet po, and sa training po. And most of us is coaching din po yung ibang mga kids sa Payatas para po mag-improve din sila. So, for now, habang wala pa po kaming susunod na mga leagues, magpo-focus kami sa coaching and improving ourselves po when it comes to our fitness and discipline po sa dieting.
So I'd like to congratulate Coach Roy Moore for winning third place. Roy, if you're tuning in, congratulations. I owe you a TikTok video this time around because you beat Gawad Kalinga this time, but it was a well-deserved win. Congratulations. Both of these teams could have easily been in the final. Coach Vic, your final thoughts on these two?
Yeah, I'm very happy, of course, when you start with number 4, with Gawi Kalinga. These are the girls what I told you from the project what we set up 2 years ago in the scholarship from Inspire Raya in Calamba. And you saw also in the game after, and Coach Chester was working also hard, and he's very proud on the team, of course. But you saw also when we talked before with the other game about the systems, that they start directly to press the Payatas team. And okay, to do that, you need, of course, 14 players. On this moment, I think they had only 8 or 9, but it was for me more to see how they take the wet strategy, how they want to do the game, playing in that situation. And that was for me very good. In that team also, you saw that there was more a team. Yeah, sometimes you need more a team than you have individuals. And I'm very happy to saw that they very nice games. And expecting not in the last 4, what Coach Chester said, but they deserve to come there. And the half final against Toulouse, that was very close. And what you said before, they can come in the final. Also that for next year, what he said, we have a new challenge. And that's for what I'm leaving this weekend again, to find some girls for that scholarship. And I hope to find the same quality and the same intention by that girls. And that I come in the next league again with a very nice team. But that's also a start working for the coach. When we go to number 3, Payatas was, in my opinion, more a team that also have 2 or 3 strong individuals, and they make the difference in some games. Danton was MVP from the league. She was in every game. She scored in every game goals. There was not one game that she not was scoring. And then Altea also. Rizbuza, but he had a red card in the half final. I think she was out. That too, and then Ronaline, we saw her in the interview. Ronaline is a tactical, very strong player, also a good football player before. That was more Payatas. There were more the elderdom. You saw also Danton is 24. Altea is looks some older than the other girls. That could also be the difference in that game. But most of the time, it was a very nice game to see with 2 different styles. I think already that Gawi Kalinga play futsal, but I think it must be played in the future. And then I hope to play it with some, when they got some older, not for these girls, I don't want to tell them they were not good enough, but when they got more experience in this, and that's what I said before, we can play easily next year with a team like that against Vietnam. Yeah, and with the other teams what brought also national team players, that's what I mean. We can make a very strong team for the future, for sure. but we need, of course, our competition. And that's why everybody asking already, when you hear the interviews, we need this league, we need this league. That is something what you and myself, of course, try to set up in the future for these girls and men's, of course.
Yeah, thanks, Coach Vic, for that. And Coach Chester mentioned it. No, 4 girls from Inspire Raya will be playing football for FEU. I also know that Althea Rebasura, one of the best players you mentioned, Coach Vic and Payatas, will also be playing for FEU, and I think they will be featured for that school in the upcoming PFF Women's Football League. But my hope for them, just putting my 2 cents worth here, my hope for them is that even if they play football, that they can still continue to develop and play in futsal. Because as you said, Coach Vic, all these girls are at the cost, and if they just continue to play futsal, who knows? They can be there down the line and they can contribute to the national. And I've had a conversation with Coach Let of FEU. I said, look, if these girls go to FEU, will you allow them to play futsal? And she said yes. No. So it's on our end to develop the collegiate phase of futsal, so the girls can continue to play futsal. Because right now, if they play futsal in high school, they play football in college. Then when they graduate from college, like what is there for them after that? No, that's something we still have to develop. So thanks, Coach Vic, for those insights, and congratulations again to Payatas for winning 3rd place. TikTok dance na Sir Kev. Yes, Michelle, I'm waiting for Coach Roy and the Payatas kids to give me the video routine I have to do. So I'm still waiting for that. I think Coach Roy is sipping on some tea, eating some scones and some clotted cream there in England. So when he gets back from that, from his little tea break, I'm willing to do that TikTok dance, all right? So Roy, reminders, huh? And of course, Alex Adolfo, thanks for tuning in from Mindanao. Coach Vic is actually going there this weekend, Coach Alex, no? So he's going to look at girls from Mindanao for Inspire Raya in Cagayan de Oro. No? So if any girls in your area, feel free to PM me, and probably you can go there this weekend. So that's the battle for 3rd. Now we go into our final championship match. 2 of the strongest teams in the league, I feel, and they're both loaded from 1 to 14. We have Tuloy FC versus Azuri for the final championship game. Let's check out the highlights.
Actually, masaya po dahil sa performance ng girls. Then, overall, okay naman po. Naging
And,
masaya lahat sila. Actually po, sa league, mas maraming nakuha na player sa Tuloy. 10 players kasi yung nakuha sa full. So, depende pa rin kung ilan yung magiging pasok sa kanila sa pinaka last team ng national. Sa tingin ko, opo, okay naman yung performance nila. Lalong-lalo na rin sa advice ni Coach Taki. Don't underestimate the opponent. Actually, after futsal, we are now preparing for the PFF Women's League because that is the main goal of our women's team for now. Because the league is starting, I think, next July, first week or second week. Also, we are preparing for the national team. As Coach Taki said, this coming July, we are preparing also for the Four Nation League this coming October. So I think the pool will start this coming September with 28 players.
Congratulations to Tuloy FC for being the champions of the High Five Women's Futsal League. This is technically a back-to-back win because last year in the 23 under Futsal League that we held in partnership with UANP, Tuloy also won and they defeated Azuri, I think, also on the final day. Not on the final day, but they finished first and second. So yes, Michelle, it was an intense final. Congrats to both teams. And I'd like to thank you, Michelle, and congratulations as well to Tuloy for being such wonderful hosts for this for the last 2 months of this league. Coach Vic, your final thoughts on Azuri and Tuloy, and also Tuloy's win. The final.
What I always like, and I told already to Raymond from Makati, what I like on the league this year was last year we had a half round, and the number on the end, Tuloy was sitting on tribune, and Makati need 10 goals in the game. And they have played only once to each other. Now we had the format from the league that was the half final and the final. Because that means that Makati can play 2 times against Tuloy and the other ways around. Because every team had the chance when they were losing one time that they can find the opponent back in the half final or final. Because that was nice from the league. Now from these games, I think I said in the beginning, we have a lot of girls coming from other teams already. They make pressure for the selection of national team. But these 2 teams, of course, are 2 very good teams. Makati is a very strong team. On the end, we will see what it brings for the national team. Tuloy already, we know them from last year. We know Makati. I like the final. I like them very much. I was not expecting that it will be 4-0. That was my only thing, but I was thinking, I think Makati can come closer on the other man, but sometimes you need some luck to make a goal, of course. But then in the end, okay, the final, for me, it could be a little closer, that the more enthusiasm, everything was in. But not again. But it also was nice that these 2 teams play what I'm thinking already a higher standard. And when you see our Tuloy girls, and when you see the Makati, yes, I found out they're making steps from last year. Because I hope that we can go on with this, and also with the coaches and what Coach Jason said. Of course, Tuloy has on this moment 2 things: they have football and futsal. In schools they have football. Because I hope when we come back and we start in September with our training sessions, that everybody is aware and fit to start for the Four Nation tournament. And totally, this game, it was not to say that this is better or this is better. 2 good teams, and I hope next year will be maybe also can go the other side, that Makati maybe can come closer or win the league. But now the last 2 years was Tuloy. But what I said this year, I was happy already with the half final and the final. And maybe next year we can make more intenses. What is my wish, of course. I want that these girls have a very good league with some nice finals, and that's where we want to go. But still, my conclusion from this league was it was not so easy on the moment to select the first pool. In the beginning, I was thinking last year I had a pool of 29. that was too much for me. Last year, I said to myself, this year we start with 20. But during the first 2-3 games, I saw so many good players that they deserve to fight in the first trainings weekend for their place. And then we must cut them back to some other numbers. I cannot train with 28 every weekend. That's it. But okay, come back later to that.
Yeah, so all the viewers out there, please stay tuned because Coach Vic will reveal his final list of the 28 players who will be invited to the training pool for the Philippine women's national futsal team that will play later this October in Four Nations friendly women's futsal, and hopes that we can get the ball rolling in the development of women's futsal here in the Asian region, especially in AFC, because as we announced in previous shows, FIFA is going to organize a women's futsal World Cup. So we wanna get ready while FIFA is still trying to figure out what to do there. No, so at least we can be competitive once we need to join international competitions. So congratulations to Tuloy FC for winning 4-0 against Azzurri. As Coach Vic said, these are two of probably the two best teams in the tournament. And you called it, Coach Vic. I remember in one of the episodes you said that we asked your prediction who's going to make it to the final. You said Azzurri and Tuloy before we started the Final Four. Yeah. So maybe Coach Vic, I should consult you more when it comes to deciding who would win football matches and others, but that's another discussion. But yeah, so congratulations again to all teams. So let's review the final standings for the High Five Women's Futsal League. Congratulations again, 8th place, Dr. J Auto Club FC. And at 7th place, winning their battle for 7th, we have Tondo FC. So congratulations, this was a very young team and they showed their culture and their style of futsal. So much props and shout outs to Coach Mark Dennis Balbin and his team there. And of course, at 6th place, we have Pangasinan United FC. Their commitment to this league was really second to none. As I said earlier in the show, they would travel 4, sometimes 5-6 hours every weekend just to be able to play their league matches here in Alabang. And of course, in 5th place, we have University of Makati, one of the stronger sides. They finished 2nd in the WNCAA Women's Futsal Tournament. And here they finished a very respectable 5th. I thought they could have placed even higher, but 5th is not too shabby. Congratulations to University of Makati. And of course, at 4th place, we have also another young team, GK Sipag FC. We said earlier, many of these girls will be going on scholarships to play their futsal with hopefully Enderon or UANP, and of course, football with the FEU, Lady Tamarao. So congratulations to GK Sipag for getting 4th place in the league. And at 3rd place, we have Payatas FC, second runner-up or 3rd place, yes. And they were one of the strongest sides in the league. They could have easily been in the final. Some very outstanding players. So I'd like to congratulate Roy Moore for finishing 3rd in the High Five Women's Futsal League. And that brings us to our first runner-up, Azzurri SC, one of the strongest teams out there, very loaded team. And congratulations to Ramon Almeida, his team, and his group of girls for putting together a wonderful campaign in the High Five Women's Futsal League. And then, of course, we have our champion. Congratulations again to Tuloy FC for winning the High Five Women's Futsal League Championship. So that's it for our final standings for this league. And we'd like to congratulate all the teams again for their commitment, improvement, and outstanding development when it comes to futsal, not just for the players, but for the coaches as well. We saw a lot of tactical innovations or improvement as the league progressed. So we'll take a commercial break and we'll come back and do a summary of our individual awards. And of course, for what you've all been waiting for is the final announcement of Coach Vic's final 28 women pool for the women's national futsal team that will be playing later this year in October, Four Nations tournament. Stay tuned. Okay, so right now we will go and announce our final set of Karamia Girl of the Game winners. So these are the best players of each of the matches from our final day. So of course, in the battle of seventh between Tondo and Dr. J Autoclave, our winner for the Karamia GOG, I think this is her first time to win it, but she's one of the best players, I think the best young players in this league. Congratulations to Lei Ikong. Our next winner, our second winner, of course, for scoring 2 goals and proving the difference in the game against GK Sipag FC, we have Agot Danton, who scored 2 goals, and she finished the league campaign as the top goal scorer. Congratulations, Agot. Our third Karamia Girl of the Game. Now, we mentioned that it could have been a closer game, but I really felt this girl made the difference in the final. She scored 2 goals. The first goal was a one-touch with her left foot, top corner, and she's really a deadly finisher, one of the top forwards in the league. Congratulations, Isabella Bandoja. Yes, and she was on fire on that last final game. And then, of course, our fourth and final Karamia Girl of the Game winner, although she's not here, goes to Umax General for leading her line and really improving and scoring all the goals that proved the difference in their game against Pangasinan United FC. Now, a recap for our Mythical 5 winners. So Coach Vic selected the top 5 girls from the High Five Women's Futsal League. Now, this was based on number of appearances. So not just on their stats, but the number of appearances that they made in this league. So our Mythical 5, our goalkeeper, our best goalkeeper is Micaela Abeto from Tuloy FC. Our best anchor or defender is Princess Cristobas from Azuri FC. And then, of course, our winger, our best winger, also from Azuri SC, is Jada Becerro, another young, outstanding talent. And then, of course, our other winger who made the Mythical 5 was Agot Danton, who, as I mentioned earlier, finished the league as the High Five Women's top goal scorer. And of course, our top forward, she proved the difference in the final, was Isabella Bandoja. Coach Vic, your thoughts on this selection that you made, these 5? Very brief.
Yeah, you said the mention, of course, on in the beginning. Not everybody was attending because also Michaela from Tuloy, she was doing the football course license C. But normally, I know already from last year. And in the beginning, I was thinking, no, it will be difficult for her. But when you see her then in the games, it is outstanding, of course, how she acted and the power what she had also. Now, Cristobas, I know Cristobas from last year, and I was thinking this year will be more difficult for her. But she impressed me in the position, and that is something what I had also in my time. Sometimes you are thinking on a position, hey, I play better than this girl, but that's not what I'm looking for. I need on every position, I need some quality. And when we have 10 strikers, I can only select 5 in this 28, what I did. And this is what I do always. Then we have Chada. I know Chada from last year. She was 1 year younger, but she is now 1 year older, and she looks also 1 year stronger. I think she got a nice future for futsal, and also the mentality what she got is very important. On that position, we have more girls. I can say also when I'm talking about Jada, you can also say Hannah Mures is also for me, but you must make choices. On the other side, Danton, of course, top scorer, MVP from the tournament, bridge between anchor and pivot. That's Danton. When you see how she's losing a ball, how she wins a ball, that was perfect. The game mentality is very important for futsal, and that's what she showed to every girl. I think every girl was looking to her and say she deserves this trophy for sure. Yeah, and what we said, Isabella in front. Yeah, she has quality. I must also say I saw on Azuri also Hazel is also somebody. What I'm thinking, hey, wait a minute, because that means what I said in the beginning. We improving. We have more girls, and this girl's talking around. And next year in the league, we have for sure other girls are coming in. This will be not difficult for the upcoming years for the national coach to select players. And every coach is thinking, oh, my player is maybe better than him, but he choose for the other one. No, that is also what I did in my selection, of course, what I'm telling later, or when I can go in, of course, that in every team I have some girls that improve to me. And I want to give the girls also that chance. When they're coming also from Dr. G example, Kayla, the goalkeeper from Dr. G, she was last year in my national team. I know her already 1 year. I know her quality, and she was in a team that needs more quality players, of course. And everybody say, yeah, but she will last in the tournament. No, she showed me already last year that when I select her, I know exactly what I have on her on training, in the hotel, and during the game. Also when she's not playing. That's also something what is important. During the tournament, I saw some girls, they were sitting disappointed on the chair because they are not playing. No, I'm looking also how they react when they be changed in the game, etc. All these things is something has to do with mentality, etc. And all this coming in. We need on the end the team. The coach must be one team with everybody in the staff, everybody together. That when we are in the hotel and starting, that it looks like one team. And Isabella is outstanding in front. Because we will see what we can do after in September. Yes.
Yeah. So Vic, we will also. It's no surprise then that we also had two additional individual awards. Our best goalkeeper award. It's no surprise because she made the mythical 5. Was Micaela Abeto, and congratulations to Micaela for winning the best goalkeeper award. I think this was her second year in a row where she won, and I think she's really an outstanding player that a lot of young futsal players should look and try to emulate because she plays a lot outside of goal. She's very comfortable with her feet. Your thoughts on her, very briefly, Coach Vic?
Yeah, they're very briefly. No, that's it. But Michaela knows from me that I'm expecting that she gets a step forward. Last year we start with coming out the goal, and it moves. It must like for me more aggressive. But she knows that it's nothing new for her. What I'm saying, she can improve more. That's my opinion about Michaela.
Thanks, Coach Vic. Definitely a talent to look out for, not just in the Philippines, but Coach Vic feels she can be an outstanding player internationally. And of course, our MVP, our Victor J. Herman. So we named the MVP award after Coach Vic, who was the MVP of FIFA a few years ago. I won't reveal your age, Coach Vic, but congratulations to our most valuable player, Victor J. Herman's most valuable player, Agot Danton. You had a lot of superlatives that you mentioned earlier, Coach Vic, about her, but what a competitor she is.
Yeah, she is. She deserves. And what I said, she's the bridge between anchor and pivot, and you can always scream to her for sure. She has the right mentality, and that's what we need in the Philippine futsal league for the ladies, for everyone. She deserves.
And she's a multi-sport athlete, so she's not only a futsal player, but she plays on the national team for women's rugby and actually represented the country in the Southeast Asian Games. So not just a tremendous futsal player, not just a tremendous competitor, but a tremendous athlete, no? And it shows in how she plays. So congratulations, Davao's pride, SOS Davao, from SOS Davao, Agot Danton. So those are our individual winners for the league. Mythical 5, best goalkeeper, and most valuable player. Agot, by the way, was also the top goal scorer of the league with 15 goals. So Golden Boot Award winner, well deserved. So we'll take one last commercial break. So I want everybody to stay here because after the commercial break, Coach Vic will announce his final pool for this year's upcoming friendlies in October. Stay tuned. So, the moment we've all been waiting for, our announcement for the training team pool for the women's national futsal team. As you said earlier, Coach Vic, this was not an easy decision, but it's a good sign that it was not an easy decision. So, Coach Vic,
Yeah.
take the floor and how
Yeah.
you selected these players,
No.
and
Yeah.
you can name them already if you want.
Yes, yes. For the players, it's not so new, of course. During the last two games in the league, I spoke already with a lot of players, and I asked them, of course, if they are available in September. And for me, it's still the question in September who can play and who will be maybe blocked by football team or football games. That's for me a big pool. But okay, I'm fighting still to get in the future our own futsal league with our own futsal games, and that have a choice to go. And you see also in this age now, when Danton is one of the oldest now, she's coming in, and that's where we must go in the future. We got an older team that not anymore playing on college, that we can select in our leagues, what maybe bringing older players in. That's up a wish for me also to bring her. But the selection was not so easy this year. And what I said before, that's why I go back still for the first trainings weekend. Last year, we trained 7 times in Toulouse before the game against Guam. And my wish was to bring the girls together in a weekend. Because that means on Friday evening, we're coming together and we're leaving on Sunday. And Sunday, most of the time, we're closing with a friendly futsal game against one of the teams from the league. And it can be also a young man's team. It's up to where I'm looking for. And that's that is the first time is 15 September is the first time to start with that. There's 4 weekends behind each other, and that's the last weekends coming up for the 4 Nation tournament. That means that I have now 25 training sessions, and before I had only 7. That's the next step that we're doing. This I asked something from the girls, but that is what we need. We need players who want to play for the national team, who want to fight for the national team. And I'm talking with the girls in the after the games in Stouloy, I find out, yes, everybody's willing to do that. Yeah. Okay. Last year I had in my national team, I had 3 goalkeepers. That was Michaela and Kayla Santiago and Trisha from Azuri. I brought 2 more now in. Why? I want to have also competition in every position. Because that means that Bru and Jennifer from Pangasinan and Mata Jasmine from Payatas also will come in the goalkeepers. So we have 5 goalkeepers in the first pool in the first weekend. For the defenders from Gabi Kalinka, and you will see it will be from all the teams, are some talents in. It will Frandella will come for the position as anchor. Yeah, Cristobal, of course, from Azuri. Then Ikong from Tondo, Jameline and Katrina from Toulouse. Both were last year were already, and Cristobal, they were on the national team. There's 3 from the 5 were last year against the game Guam. They know already something from what is the international is going on. And then the wingers, that's the most difficult part. There we have, of course, the most players. Yeah, we have as a first is Corpus from Pangasinan, the young girl, and she deserves to come for the first time, and it's up to her how she get out. Then from Azuri SC, we have Precious, Hannah Mures, Nono, Alco Shane, Alapin, and from UMAC we have Alcantara, Cabal from UMAC. Dus that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 from that part. They're training most of the time together. And then the last year, there were also 5 from them in the national team. Then from Payatas, of course, Danton and Rezibuza Altea. These 2 midfielders, wingers, they're making the bridge. But okay, it's up to them how they will come in September in the trainings time. Then from Toulouse, we have Demily Rolin, Ortilla Lani, Joanne, Jenny Paris, and Sheila Fabian. Jenny Paris was the first game she was there, and then she was injured. She was last year in the team, and I told also to her, I'm looking only in September if you are fit or not fit enough. It is I cannot use players who are not training and coming there and saying, "Oh, I'm in the national team." No, you must do something to come in the national team. That's what I want. For the forward position from Azuri is Hazel is there, and of course Isabella Banjuja, the 2-1, and Dela Cruz, Mary Joy. And then you will see there's 3 forward players, but in the midfielders we have also some girls. They can play there in the position, because I can mix it. This is what I want, that we can play on every position, that a girl can thinking I'm forward or I'm winger, but I know exactly to do on that position what international, what we must use for that. These are the 28 players. They're coming on the first time in the weekend 15-16 September. After that weekend, I go back to 20. This the first weekend is very important, because I know then who is not available, who cannot play in 4 weeks later, that I not lose too much time on players who coming only 1 time or 2 times. No, 28. I want to see 15. Sorry, I want to see which of these 28 players are available for 4 weekends in training center. Where the training center is be held, that will be later. We will discuss that later. But we have already one option, and that will be we work out. But the players will hear from us before September where they must come. Yeah, and also for the league, that's the last one. I'm looking for friendly games in the weekend. When you want to play against the national team, please contact me or Kevin Gogo. You can contact. And also when it is a men's team from 16 years or 70 years, that's no problem. We learn only from that. Yes, and that's the group for the 4-nation tournament. And that last one, what I want is that we go winning this tournament. That's my big tour pool. When we winning, of course, that will be easier for next year. This was Kevin, the 28 girls for the upcoming 4-nation tournament start training pool.
Yeah, thanks, Coach Vic. And I just got the list right now here in front of me. We will release this on social media channels. So congratulations to the 28 girls who were invited to the women's national futsal team training pool. They will be training for an upcoming 4 Nations Invitational that will, and I'll reveal it right now, Coach Vic, that will have New Zealand coming here, Guam, and either Northern Mariana Islands or Chinese Taipei. So these are some pretty, New Zealand especially is going to be a strong futsal team. It's a good measuring stick for us. So it's a step further from our 2 friendlies that we had against Guam last year. So just to review, congratulations, our goalkeepers, Jennifer Bruan from Pangasinan United, Trisha Advincula from Azuri SC, Kyla Santiago from Dr. J Autoclave or UANP, Jasmine Mata from Payatas FC, and of course, Micaela Abeto from Tuloy will be the goalkeepers for the training camp. Our defenders, our anchors will be Brendel Nuera from GK, Princess Cristobas from Azuri, Lei Ikong from Tondo, Jamelin Nanyes, who was our captain last year from Tuloy, and Kat Calatin from Tuloy FC as well. Then we have a large pool of wingers. Congratulations for the call up to the training team pool. Lian Kate Corpus from Pangasinan United FC. And then from Azuri, we have Precious Kasapao, Hannah Muros, Shane Nono, Jada Becerro, and Regina Aliping. Regina, I know her. She's from Baguio. So congratulations to Coach Frael and Coach Aris Bocalan for developing this player. Then, of course, from the University of Makati, returning to the national team in this women's pool for this year is Sheila May Alcantara. We also have Julia Cabal from University of Makati. From Payatas, we have our league MVP, Agot Danton. And of course, invited as well was one of the top players in the league, Althea Rebusura, will also be joining the pool. And then, of course, from Tuloy FC, we have Lani Ortilio, Demely Rolion, Joanne Centino, Jenny Perez, and Sheila Fabian. And of course, to round off the selection, our forwards selected for the invitation to the training pool for this October's invitational tournament. We have Hazel Lustan from Azuri FC, Mary Joy De La Cruz from Tuloy FC, and of course, our Mythical 5 team member, Isabella Bandoja from Tuloy FC. So, Coach Vic, no mistakes there. I hope I got all the girls. Congratulations. Congratulations to all these girls for going through a 2-month league and impressing Coach Vic, our futsal legendary coach, has selected you guys to come to camp in September in preparation for our October Four Nations tournament. Coach Vic, final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking forward for that, of course. That's where we're working for. And between that, of course, we're looking also to the men's league, what's coming up. And of course, for the other projects, what we're going with Inspiraya in Calamba. I think we're on the right track with the help of the coaches. I want to thank also to all the coaches. They're helping very much with the developing of the girls. And I can say over 1 or 2 years, I hope that we can say all together we make this happen in Philippines. And what I said already, when I see what happens in Vietnam, I think we're on the right track, that we're going forward with our futsal projects here. Okay, this I'm forward. I'm looking now also to a little break after next week. Then I go back to my kids and grandkids in Holland. And when I come back with a lot of energy, we go forward. We go for it.
Yes, thank you so much, Coach Vic. And it's a well-deserved break after finishing this league, scouting all these players and coming up with your pool. We hope you will get recharged so we can prepare to win this tournament later in October. No? And we have a question here, Coach Vic, from Maki. Any seminar or training for coaches and officials? Yes, we do. Please mark it in your calendar. We have our AFC Futsal Level 1 course will be in the first week of November 1 to 6. And then we'll also have our AFC Level 2 Futsal coaching course. That's equivalent to the B license for futsal. November 23 to 28, if I'm not mistaken, but it's around that time. So our AFC courses will be in November. Of course, if you are part of an RFA, your RFA can actually request from the PFF to host a PFF futsal basic course that is at no cost to the RFA. PFF covers all that cost, but your RFA must request for that course. Of course, for officials, yes, our goal for this league is to develop more officials for futsal because, as Coach Vic said, later on in this year, we will have a men's futsal league. And we're also looking to have under 20 women's futsal league. And then we also, of course, our next step for High Five is we want a double round robin futsal league because single round, we saw how much the girls improved. What more if they play 2 rounds plus a semis and final for next season? So, Coach Vic, thank you very much again for joining us and for revealing. We're sharing your analysis and revealing our final pool for the women's national futsal team that will train. And how many girls will you select, Vic, from this pool of 28?
Yeah, it can only be 14, eh? Because it starts 28, then back 20, then 17, and the 17 stay together the last weekend, and then I must make 14. It's not more than allowed. Yeah. It's not like football when you have 23 or something like that for 11 players.
Yeah.
No, that's
it's going to be very competitive. So those girls who are selected and are tuning in, start to get in shape, no? Because you need to be fit, as I understand it, when you come into camp.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we'll take a commercial break. Thank you again, Coach Vic, for joining us. We'll have one last commercial break, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So just to wrap up the show, I'd like to congratulate all the teams for their commitment and involvement in the High Five Women's Futsal League. It was a high quality league that had a lot of intense action, and overall we saw improvement from the players, the coaches, and the officials as well. And so I'd like to congratulate first of all the champion Tuloy FC, but also all those other teams who participated. It was such a wonderful league, and I'd like to commend you for that. Now, this league was meant to be a scouting platform for our women's national futsal team. This is something that the PFF and other futsal stakeholders want to get behind because, as I mentioned earlier in the show, FIFA will be organizing a women's futsal World Years, and we want to start with a young team and start having them join international competition so that by the time that comes around the corner, we will be ready to compete and hopefully make our country proud when we do participate in qualifiers for that. So it starts with this pool, and it starts by us hosting a Four Nations women's futsal tournament in the Ninoy Aquino Stadium later in October this year. So we are gearing up for that. I'd also like to congratulate the 28 girls who were shortlisted by Coach Vic for development of this national futsal team. If you may not be aware of Coach Vic's resume, Coach Vic helped develop Iran into a powerhouse for men's futsal. He helped develop Thailand to become a powerhouse in international futsal as well. And when he came to the Philippines, the first thing he said to me was, Kevin, focus on the girls. That's the lowest lying fruit. That's where we can succeed. And that's why we're getting very much behind this. Other announcements as well is that we will have our men's league. So it's not just all about the girls. We will be launching our men's league this October, and it will be just like the High Five Women's Futsal League, but this time to develop our men's team moving forward in the future. And of course, as I mentioned earlier in the show, for those coaches who are interested to learn and develop their game, coming November, we will have our AFC Futsal Level 1 and AFC Futsal Level 2 coaching courses. So please stay tuned for that. Contact the PFF for more details, PFF Coaching Education. So that's it for me. I'd like to thank everyone for bearing with us, for bearing our TikTok dances and our glitches technically. I understand that this show, like everything in life and especially in Philippine futsal, is a work in progress. But rest assured that we're working hard to do our best to produce or bring this sport to the level it should be. And we hope that this can be a very exciting and a very worthwhile sport that can make Filipinos proud in the future. So thanks everyone for tuning in. God bless and see you around.